if God gave us our minds, could it be argued that we're just pre-programmed to make decisions and then to believe that it's due to free will?
Thank you. The interesting thing is, how do you know, if that's the case, that your very question itself was pre-programmed? I think that's a great question, and I think what we see, if we say that everything is predetermined, this is a position known as hard determinism, it becomes impossible to say anything about anything, because you say, well, you're just pre-programmed, and actually argumentation just completely breaks down at this point. But actually, again, some very smart people do believe this. People like Sam Harris, who is in fact a brain imaging scientist, has a huge following in the States, and believes that actually, yeah, everything he does is predetermined in every single way, every choice and everything. And so there are huge implications to that view. I think the biblical perspective, there's lots more we could say about the neuroscience, and actually, but the biblical perspective is actually that we have been given, genuine freedom. Now, some level of determinism in the brain is not the enemy of free will. Actually, you can say that there are tracts laid down in the brain, and that's part of what helps you think rationally. There are kind of regularities that are helping that process, but that there is actually more to it. And I think we live as though we make genuine and meaningful choices, don't we? I think we live as though that is the case, as though we do have a distinct mind and a distinct ability to make choices that do bring about effects in the world. They're not simply us doing what we've been programmed to do. There were some studies by a scientist called Benjamin Libet in the 1980s, where he studied, he hooked people, not that expression, he attached people up to an EEG machine, and he asked them to think about when they wanted to move their finger, and to actually tell people when they made the decision to move their finger and then move it. And what they thought they discovered was the brain started firing before he decided to move his finger. In other words, his brain was just telling him what to do. But actually, these studies have been overturned when other groups reanalyzed the data or tried to repeat it. They saw that the model that he used to analyze the data wasn't the best one, and if you use a different model, the timing is the same. They make the decision, your brain starts firing, and that's the way it happened. And we also can see that really just one person's decision to sort of move one of their digits help us understand all kinds of decision making. I don't think so. And he made a decision to participate in the experiment. He got on a bus, he cleared